Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Corey Kineska from Fantasy Flight Games looking at KeyForge.
KeyForge.
Which I just wrote 1,000 words on this morning because I was super excited about this. Maybe I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this is our new card game designed by Richard Garfield, and we've been working on this game for over 2 years. And I mean, everybody expects a card game, right? Is it going to be an LCG? Is it going to be a collectible game? But this is a new category of card games that we're making here.
Yes, collectible deck game.
Collectible deck game.
Right.
And the real shtick is that when you go into the store and you pick this up, you'll buy a deck, and every deck in the entire world is unique. What does that mean? Yeah, you open one too. So, for example, here's this deck. Ginfred Ying, the Mighty and Scathing. So the only deck in the world that's going to have that name. It's got this on the back here.
Yeah, so you put it down on the table.
Oh yeah, that's a good place to put it.
And I have Clarthom's of Red Rail.
Yeah, so what makes these decks unique beyond just the name is the composition of them. The cards that you get in your deck, the combinations of them are procedurally generated by an algorithm. And with the number of cards in the base set, there's like, 100 quadrillion different combinations that there could be?
Some ridiculous number. That's right. More than there are potential customers, so
It's
everyone
crazy.
can have their own.
Everyone can have their own, absolutely.
Okay.
And so you're going to get these cards in your deck. But how does it work, right? What is this game about? What's the world? There's a brand new IP that we've developed for this, and it takes place in a world called the Crucible, which is kind of this mixing pot of all these different planets and cultures mashed together by these mysterious architects that nobody knows much about. And we all take on the role of Archons, who have called together 3 of the different houses from the Crucible to work for them to try to unlock vaults of power. So for example, you can see this one comes with Shadows, Untamed, and Sanctum. Yours has Untamed, Logos, and Shadows. So we've got some similar houses. There's 7 different ones in the game, but there's an infinite number of them that live on the Crucible. The composition of each deck, it's always 3 houses that work together. So sometimes these are maybe enemies that live here that need to work together, and they all have their different flavor. But mechanically, beyond like the whole unique shtick, I feel like Richard Garfield's really gone out and made this game stand out and be different from a lot of the other head-to-head card games out there.
That's right. I'm not trying to kill you. That's one
yes,
thing.
You're not trying to kill me.
No.
I don't have 20 hit points. You're not trying to take me down to 0.
Right, or eliminate your deck.
Exactly. So
Yes.
you're trying to forge these keys, and you're collecting amber using your creatures. And if you get 6 amber, you can build a key. If you build all 3 of yours, you win.
It sounds very straightforward the way you're saying
It
it
seems
there.
very straightforward, right? But I mean, everything else is so crazy. We have to make some part of it straightforward. There's also a really great resource system in the game, as opposed to needing to like draw cards to generate resources in the game. You're gonna have 6 cards in your hand, and each turn you get to pick one of your 3 factions. Oh, this deck isn't shuffled.
No, they don't come shuffled.
No, they don't. So I could say on my turn I want to use Shadows, and that would mean I could play Shadows cards, and I could also use any of my Shadows creatures in play.
Shadow artifacts.
Yeah, you could use your artifacts.
And you can discard shadow cards from your hand if there's things you don't need.
Yes,
that was a rule we
collect
missed
something.
when we were playing one time. That game did not go as well for one player.
Hand management is pretty important in
Yes,
this game.
yes.
And it really makes you play in ways that you might not be used to as a card gamer, because you might have a lot of really big creatures in play that you want to attack with, but if you attack with them, you have to name their house, which means that you won't be able to play all those other really cool cards in your hand this turn.
Yep.
It's a lot of difficult decisions.
If you have 2 houses, you're splitting your forces.
Yeah.
You use little bits and pieces. It's fascinating. It's weird because it's both the game design itself is different and cool with sort of the management of the cards, with the things on the table, how you're using everything, but then also just the production issue is like this whole other story
Yeah.
in here, and it's all combined in one creation.
It's wild. I mean, the reason why it took us so long was just we had to figure out how to produce it.
Yeah.
And Richard approached us and he said, I've got a really cool idea for a game, and you guys might just be crazy enough to do it. And
You probably do need someone with a bit of resources.
Yeah.
I remember talking with Christian Peterson, and this is like 2 or 3 years ago, we were just talking about you were having in-house printers and like making all your own stuff and just like seeing what you could do. Like for a lot of time, it's just figuring out just the mechanics of the actual production and all sorts of things along those lines. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And every time our production department gets comfortable with something, we have to come up with another crazy challenge for them to solve.
that's right. Because yes, it's generated art and name and
Yeah, the name's even on the front of the cards too, so you can't like cheat. You can't put cards in your deck that don't belong there. They'll know.
Yes. Okay. So there we go. Overview of KeyForge coming in Q4 2018. There's a starter set which includes pre-constructed decks.
Yeah, there's 2 learning decks in there,
Okay.
but it also comes with 2 sealed decks as well.
Okay.
So you'll get some random stuff. Also the tokens and rulebooks really.
That's right. And if you know the game, you can just pick up decks and
Yeah,
You go for
you
it.
could just walk into the store, pay $10 and play with your friends.
that's right. Who also has $10. Don't go with 4 friends because then you can't play.
Unless you buy 2 decks.
Unless you wait too.
To help your
Okay,
friends.
that'll work. Thank you,
Awesome.
Corey.
Yeah, you bet.
Anything else to say about it? I mean, obviously,
I mean,
this is
I
not
could
the
talk
end.
about
I mean,
this
is
forever.
already announced when you had your announcement. It is the first set for Call of the Archons. It's
Yes.
the first set, so that's not it. Like 100 quadrillion is not enough.
That's how many decks there
apparently.
are in the first set, if we
Okay.
wanted to print all of them.
And that's not all.
There'll be more.
There'll be more. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
for
thank
showing us
you.
off.